What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a strategy that I've been using for about a year now, on and off. Now this strategy wasn't my own making. A community member named Gitly actually brought it to my attention, like I said, about a year ago. I want to make sure that you guys are reminded, and if you guys want to, you guys can use the same strategy as well, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. But first, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. With that all being said, let's jump right into it. So the system that I'm talking about here is about the Prism system. So first, the Prism crystals, as well as the Prism jewel system. So the jewel system, you basically accumulate jewels, and if there is a summon pool active, you can summon basically souls from a particular pool. And if you have Prism crystals available, and if there is a summon pool active, you can summon champions from that given pool. Now, where it gets interesting is these summon pools basically auto pull your crystals that you acquire at the end of the summon pool, basically not allowing players to stack these up in any way. However, with this strategy, this will allow you to stack up your crystals and jewels and then basically release them on pools that you are really interested in. Now that is the strategy. So why would somebody want to do this, and how does it benefit the player? So first of all, like I said, it auto pulls all of your resources. You have no say in which pool it pulls on, because I guess Plarium wants to deny you the ability to save these resources for your desired targeted pool. But let me show you guys how this can be done. So first of all, there's no current summon pool active right now. However, I still have the event tab open. So the way this works is it requires a little bit of setup. Once the summon pool is active and it auto pulls your shards or crystals, you cannot click the red dot. Leave the red dot there. Once the red dot is there, this is acting like a plug. Once the pool tab is plugged, now you can start stacking your resources. So in this case, I've been stacking up these Prism crystals for the better part of 4 months or so at least. And I have 330 of these Prism crystals. Obviously, I don't spend in the game. And usually per one of these summon pool events, we get about 40 of these crystals. So you can kind of see here, we got 330. So it's been quite a number of weeks that we've been saving up. And the only way we can save up is because of this red dot. The red dot is plugged on this summon pool from many months ago. So if I were to click this red dot, it would produce a champion from that particular summon pool that it auto pulled from. However, if there's a summon pool active, I will be able to basically use all of these saved resources into the pool of my choice. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So when you unplug this red plug, it will give you the champion from that old pool. But if you have an active pool active, then all of these crystals will go into that active pool. Currently, there's no active pool. So if I pull this red plug, basically now my resources are open to be auto pulled on the next summon pool that arrives. Obviously, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you know exactly what pool you're pulling into and targeting. Now, this is the part where it was a little bit hard to test, but I tested it earlier here on the Prism jewel system, and it should work the exact same as the Prism crystal system. So what people were saying before is that this kind of unplug and then release all your resources into a desired pool was all good in theory. It was very hard to test, but I tested this on this Prism jewel system and it worked perfectly exactly as advertised. So there is a little bit of fine detail here about when you can unplug the red dot. I was advised that if you unplug the red dot while these offers are still open, this includes the Prism Shard offers as well as the Prism Jewel offers, then this pool will be active. However, if you unplug when there's no offers available, then the pool tab will disappear. And then your resources will not go into your desired pool and then will basically just stay there until the next pool opens, and then will auto pull all of your crystals or jewels. So there's a bit of risk there. But in this case, I did test this on this Prism Jewel system. I unplugged it 14 hours after this event started. So you can see here, I took a screenshot of it before I pulled it. I had the red dot on the summon pool, and you see the 85 Prism Jewel crystals still available. And then on the next slide, I clicked the red dot and it produced a 1-star Owella blessing. This was from a pool many, many months ago. All right, so this went into my inbox. And then on the last picture here, it shows the current pool that we're in open. And I still have the 85 Prism Jewels here, and I can summon both of them. So that's exactly what happened. Everything worked out exactly like I thought it would. So I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of this very, very cool strategy. It gives us players a chance to manipulate the pools in a little bit of an advantageous way because they are set up to basically benefit Plarium in every way. They don't allow us to, save up. They don't allow us to participate in pools where we like to have certain champions. They basically force us to, hey, farm this crystal resource and then use it immediately. If you and then there's no other way around it. I guess the only way around is actually spending money on whatever pool you want. But this way, you can actually plug your pool and then collect the resource and then unlock your plug and release your resources on a pool that you desire. Now, this has obvious benefits, but it's a long-term patient strategy. You're obviously investing resources to collect these jewels and crystals, which you're not going to realize immediately. So it's definitely not for everybody, but it is a strategy that, is pretty cool and it works exactly as advertised. So I decided to unplug my Prism Jewels for this particular pool here. I thought it was very, very nice. It has Newt, which I only have a 3-star, for example. It has Mishinaki, it has Stultus, it has Ragash, Titus, it has Neve, Necrit. All of these guys I have very low blessings on. And if I hit any one of them, it would just be massive. So I just decided, hey, worth a shot right now, and it's worth just to test out this theory. The biggest question mark was, when do we unplug? All right, so like I said, guys, make sure you unplug while this offer is open. Ideally, you unplug earlier. I confirmed that I unplugged 14 hours after it opened and it worked. So anything more, I cannot confirm anymore. One of the drawbacks of this is basically when you unplug, if you unplug the Prism Crystal, for example, you'll get a champion, right? Let's say you get an epic champion. Well, if you unplug that outside of a champion chase, then you don't get the points for the epic. However, waiting for a champion chase, usually at the end of the week, could force you to miss this window where the unplug works. Because like I said, if you unplug at the wrong time, this tab could disappear, right? This pool could not be active for you. But like I said, it works if you do it on the first day. At least for myself, the first 14 hours, it totally worked. So it's a small price to pay. You'll lose your first unplug champion if you're doing Prism Crystals. And if there was a Soulstone chase, for example, you'll lose your first Soulstone. So for us, this ended up working. And then we actually did this on stream, which was really, really cool. I did record my polls here. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys check it out. And it will show you guys exactly what I did. And yeah, enjoy. Oh, damn it. Like I said, guys, these are saved. These are saved Prism stones, right? You can save them. Ooh, that's an upgrade. Okay. Okay, that's an upgrade. 5-star Mishinaki. I'll take that. Super nice. Let's go. I mean, that's nice. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. That's a nice one. We got, I think on this account, we only have like a 4-star Mishinaki. So a 5-star is really nice. And yeah, we get the accuracy boost and everything. I don't really use Mishinaki anymore, but yeah, the 5-star is nice. Feels good, man. Yeah, so the strategy totally works, guys. So like I said, all you have to do is plug the summon pool. Basically, don't touch it when it gets into the red dot status. And then you can just bank up the Prism crystals or Prism whatever jewels. Afterwards, target a pool that you want, release the red plug, and then you can release all your jewels that you have. This applies, this works the same way for the Prism Shards as well. Yeah, it's a good strategy. It's one of the few ways that you can kind of manipulate the pools. We got to take whatever advantage we have, right? Okay, we just pulled a 5-star Mishinaki. Can we get lucky here and pull something crazy? Come on. Oh! Oh! Yes! Oh my god, what a win! What a win! Oh my god, what a win! This is massive. What a win. We get the defense and the crit damage here. What a win. Holy fuck. What a win. Oh my god, what a W. Oh my god, what a W, guys. Holy shit. I actually have this champion. I use her and I love this. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm freaking pumped. I'm pumped. I am pumped. There we go, guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot today. Let's go. Let's go. Crit damage. Let's go. Plus defense. Massive. Massive boost. Yeah, huge W. Let's go. All right, guys, as you can see, we got a pretty explosive, good outcome from our saved up resources here. Like I said, we spent it on a pool that I thought would give us some pretty good value. We had a lot of champions here that had very low souls, and especially the Titus soul would have been immediately very, very impactful. So I really wanted to gun for that as well. But yeah, we got a 5-star Mishinaki and a 4-star Neve, and those are just really, really good. I don't really use Mishinaki too much anymore, but he's still a great champion, and a 5-star for him is very, very useful. And of course, a 4-star Neve is just massive. She gets immediately the defense boost and the crit damage boost, which both really, really benefit her. So I'm super, super happy to get that. And yeah, it was a fun little experiment. And you know what? We still have the Prism crystals active. So I'm going to save this up for a future pull. I have no idea when I would pull, to be honest. You know, I passed a couple good Prism events with like Volcanos and stuff like that, but I'm not too sure. Some people are saying like, oh, I should save to Mercy, but Mercy starts at 20, which is roughly about 800 crystals. And, you know, that could be a year from now, to be honest. I don't know if I can wait a year. But we'll see. We'll make something fun about it, and we'll think about it a little bit. All right, guys. So just to recap everything here, so you guys have a 100% understanding of what's going on. Once you have Prism crystals or Prism jewels here, it will auto pull for you. So for example, let's take this summon pool with the Prism jewels here today. If I had 40 Prism jewels here today, if I don't do anything, when this event ends, it will auto summon my soul for me. When this happens, guys, this red dot will appear. The red dot will appear. This summon pool tab will still be here. As long as you don't click on the tab, don't click on the red dot, then the plug is now active. Once the plug is active, you are free to basically stock up on these resources. And then once you see a pool that you are interested in, you release the plug within the first, like I said, 14 hours. I tested up to 14 hours. Within the first 14 hours of that pool releasing, then you release the plug. Once you release the plug, you are free to unload all your resources into your desired pool. Now that is generally the strategy here today. Guys, hopefully I explained this properly for you guys. I know in the past, a lot of you guys thought I was spending money on jewels and crystals because you guys thought that there was no way to actually save these resources. So hopefully I showed you guys here that it is possible and it is effective and it is working. So hopefully you guys can take that kind of strategy and use it to your own advantage if you guys so choose so. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Were you guys aware of this? Have you guys ever done this yourselves? Will you guys do this in the future? Let me know. And once again, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Would really appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video.